What's up, everybody? How you doing? Okay, so let's put this up here. So I made an OBS tutorial, and it was at the request of Tom Hartman from Pod Jerky and the PodVCon community. So I made an OBS tutorial. It's real basic. It's real, just real basic in the sense where it just shows you how to start up your stream, do the settings, and set up some scenes and some sources for those scenes. So, like I said, it's real basic. But all right, so stay tuned. Make sure you stay tuned till after the show, because me and Tom are going to be going live right here. You don't have to go anywhere else. We're going to be going live right here after the show to take on some questions and see what you guys think. So see you soon. Hey guys, thank you for joining me today. This is a long-awaited OBS tutorial, and I wanted to go over the basics on what it'll take for you to run OBS and successfully integrate it into your vodcasting / live streaming repertoire, so to speak. I wanted to go over the basics of OBS so that you guys as podcasters can level up your show to a vodcast or to a live stream. And it's super simple. And best of all, it's free. Okay, so let's dive right into this because there is quite a bit to explain here. So, right off the bat, you hear music. Now, I'm running this show with a Rodecaster attached. So I have my phone connected via Bluetooth and I have some royalty free music playing in the background. And, I feel that it spices up the stream a little bit, gives the viewers and the listeners something else to listen to and, makes it more interesting. And also that little starting soon screen, that's part of a theme which I have going on here within OBS. So I will explain that a little bit more in depth. But right now, this is kind of what it looks like. This is a basic stream. This is just you and your camera through OBS. And you could stream like this. That's no problem. You can make videos like this, and that's fine. But there is two other levels to this, or probably more, but there are two other levels where you can add some graphics or maybe, add a little spice to the stream. So let me just show you what I mean here. So this is level 1. This is level 2. See how the graphics change now? Now I have the OBS tutorial up here. I have the logo, the show logo up in the corner, and I have all my social media at the bottom. Okay. This is a basic overlay. This is a basic overlay that anybody can design. Okay. If you have Photoshop, I designed mine in Photoshop, but you can also use a program like Canva, which is free. You can do that and spice up the show a little bit, put some graphics on the screen, give people something they can look at while they're listening to you. Let's go to the next level of the themes now. And this would be level 3. Okay, so here you see I'm boxed out with a frame. I have a cam frame. You can see my logo up here in the top of the screen, and it's fully customizable. So you can see that I can turn my logo on and off just by hitting the eyeball. But this is what it looks like. This is a theme that I've downloaded from a third-party website, and you can easily integrate it into OBS. So for now, let's go back to the basic screen. So what I would hope to accomplish with this tutorial is I'd like to show you that as a podcaster, you can use OBS to live stream and create vodcast, because OBS not only streams, but you can also just record video on it on your local computer, which is great. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen here. All right, there we go. So now you're going to go to the obsproject.com and download OBS. You're going to download this Windows version if you have Windows, Mac, and Linux. Depending on the version of operating system you're running is obviously dependent on the version you're going to download. So you're going to download that. And then once you open it, you should have something that looks like this. Okay. So your OBS is going to look a little different than mine. I know right now this kind of looks like OBS Inception, but your OBS is going to look a little different than mine. These side panels on the left and right of these two screens aren't going to be there. I've added these for my streams. I've added them for my vodcasts. So that's my personal preferences on how I control my stream. If you are more interested in OBS and you download it and you really start using it, you will figure out how to do all this. It's super easy. But once you first download it, you're going to get these two windows right here at the top. Okay, these are your outputs. You got your preview on your left and your program here on the right. Now, your preview on the left is what you're setting up as your next shot. Okay, so your program screen on the right is what everybody in the world is seeing. This is the stuff that you're streaming. Okay, so on the left, you're setting your shot up, and then you're going to transition here in the middle, and then what you're going to bring over what's on the left to the right to show to everybody in the world. Down here at the bottom, you have what's called scenes, and think of these as your cameras. Okay, so think of scenes in a movie. But here you have your scenes where you can set up different things that you're going to be doing throughout your show. Okay, so you can have one that says cam, which is this one right here. This is my cam. Okay, this is my screen share. So these scenes are a collection of scenes that you want your viewer to see, that you set up differently in each scene. Okay, so now, right now we're in the cam scene, right? So in that scene, we have sources. Each scene has its own specific sources. So you're going to set up a scene, and then you're going to add some sources, because you need things inside that scene. Okay, you need your audio, you need your video, and whatever else that you want to put into it. So let's pick a scene, and I'm going to show you what it's like to add and remove sources and change the look of your stream. Okay, so let's go over to the screen share. This way you guys can watch what I'm doing. Okay, so in my screen share scene, these are the sources that I have in here. I have StreamYard Capture. I have an alert box. Now, the alert box and the game capture is something that came with my theme that I downloaded. I'll get into that once I start talking about themes. But let's say I wanted to add the title bar to the top left, like I had in the other scene. So what I would do is here, I would add a source, and then I would add an image. And being that I have it in another scene, I'm going to add existing because I've already imported it. You don't want to import more than one type of source of the same thing. So if you import or like the title, which is considered an image in another scene, you don't want to import it again, because then you're just making duplicates, which take up processing power within OBS. So you're going to want to keep with what you've already imported. So I'm going to click title, hit OK. And there it is. It showed up on the top left. You guys can barely see that because it showed up really small. So now you see the red box. This is the proportions for that title box. In order for us to see it, I have to make it bigger. and make it the size of the actual screen, the resolution of the screen. So I'm going to right click the title, go to transform, and then fit to screen. So now you should be able to read that. So when I transition, you'll see on the right screen, it'll say OBS tutorials in the top left. The title will show up. See? Okay, so now let's say it's not something that you want in your scene, but or it's something that you want to be able to turn on and off. So what you're going to do is you're going to click this eyeball here in the source where it says title, and you're going to click it off. And see over here on the left, it disappeared, but it's still in the right because you haven't hit the transition button yet. See, once you hit the transition, whatever changes you make in the scene on the left, you have to hit the transition button in order for it to actually take effect on the stream on the right side. So there are a bunch of different things that you can add as a source into OBS, into a scene. So let's set up a scene, all right? I'm going to hit the plus, and it's going to ask me, let's just call it scene 2. Okay, and it starts as a black screen. Okay, so in here, you're obviously going to want your camera. So you're going to want video capture device. I already have one. And yes, I'm using a webcam. And we're going to add that. See, there I am. This is what my camera used to look like. Okay, I'm blown out, too much white, too much light. I used to go crazy trying to get the perfect settings for my studio. I thought, oh, I got the wrong lights. I have to buy a better camera, but that's not the case because OBS has this feature where you can literally change the settings of your camera. So if you double click your webcam and go into the camera settings here, okay, you can see configure video. And that will pop up this. Okay, this is the control center for your camera. Your brightness, your contrast, your hue, your saturation, your white balance. But for me, I don't know about everybody, but for me, my exposure is way too high, which is why I'm so bright. So I just click off auto and it automatically, I look better. And then I go back to the other settings and I go to my white balance and I play around with this a little bit. Brightness, tone it down, hit apply. Okay. And now my camera is back to normal. Like I look pretty good without using a really expensive DSLR. Now, another thing you're going to want to make sure is that your camera settings come default. The settings for your resolution always start device default. You're going to want to change that to custom and put it on 1920 by 1080, which is full HD. So, and then just leave everything else alone. Hit OK. And there, my camera's back to normal. That's basically all you need for a basic stream. But again, you can make it look a lot better by adding some graphics. So we're going to create a new image. We're going to call it overlay. Hit OK. And then this window is going to pop up and it's going to ask for the image. So you're going to browse on your computer and you're going to find the file. And there it is. You're going to hit OK. Okay, again, see how it's small and you can barely make it out. Well, what you want to do is you want to right click, transform, fit to screen. And there it is. You have a basic overlay. So now within this scene, you're going to need to set up some audio because your audience is going to need to hear you. So what you do is you do audio input capture. Add an existing, and I'm using the Rode Pod mic. Hit OK. All right. Let's add another image to this. Let's add the logo to the top right. Add another image. This one I know I already have in here, so let's add an existing Pod to VOD logo. Okay. So that's in here now, and it's huge. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the corner here in the red box, click, hold down, resize it. Now this snaps to the corners, which is nice. It's convenient because then you could just snap it to the corner and quickly click and drag the opposite. And there you go. So now you have a pretty good looking layout, right? But look on the right side. Your audience isn't seeing that. So what you have to do is that you have to hit the transition button. And now this is all you see because this is the scene that we had made. In this scene, it's basic. It's just a webcam, an overlay that's on top of the webcam, and my logo. So let's go back to the screen share. The layers here make a difference. So the layers in your sources, these are all considered layers, each one of these. Let's say, for instance, your webcam is over your overlay. See what happens? You can't see your overlay. Now, because the overlay was designed in Photoshop, you need to make the background of the overlay transparent. So I usually like to save it as PNG files or GIFs, whichever one you're comfortable with, but I usually use PNG files because it saves the transparency within the image. Okay, so it all depends on how the layers are stacked within the sources on how things display in your screen. So that's basically all you're really going to need to know as far as scenes and sources are concerned. You again, in scenes, you basically like setting up your camera scenes on your shots on what you want to show, and then the sources are the sources that are actually being shown within that scene. So also on the screen, you can also see the audio mixer here, which is the levels that you know I'm speaking at, the system. And then here on the right, you can change the different kind of transitions. Now, this drop down box right here lets you change the different transitions between scenes. You can also do the same thing over here. You can add a quick transition right here. So let's cut. Let's add another one. Move. Add another one. Global. Okay. So now you can easily transition between two different scenes. And it's really easy. So your transitions are right here. And then you have your settings and everything over here. So now next to that, you have the controls. Okay. So now this is where you're going to start streaming. You're going to start recording. Right now, I'm recording. You're going to start a virtual camera. You can enter studio mode or not, where it's just one camera. Studio mode gives you the two windows so that you can see a preview of what you're going to send out opposed to what's actually streaming. And then you have your settings and then exit. So let's go into settings real quick. Okay, so in settings, you're going to need to set up your stream settings. So right now I'm set to Twitch because I like to play video games on Twitch. But you can also stream directly to YouTube, Facebook Live, Restream, Twitter, or Periscope. So there's a bunch of different options that you can stream to right here. So let's keep it at Twitch. Server is auto recommended. When an account is not connected, you're gonna see a stream key that you just copy and paste from the website wherever you're streaming to, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. They each have their own stream keys. So as far as I know, OBS only streams to one platform. So whichever platform you designate right here is whatever it's going to stream to. Then you can set your hardware. Hardware, I've done a little research into this, and you're going to want to switch your encoder over to NVENC. I forget why. I think it's easier. I think your memory and everything is being handled by the graphics card instead of the GPU, CPU, or something like that. But everybody says you're better off using NVENC, so I put it on NVENC. And then this is where all your recordings go. You get to set the path, the folder on where you want to save all your recordings and the quality and the file format and your encoder. Again, keep it at NVENC. And I think that's about it for the settings. Don't mess too much around with the settings unless you really, really know what you're doing, because there's a lot of different settings that you can do, a lot of customization as far as resolution and hotkeys. These are all hotkeys that you can look at. That's a lot. So just keep it simple. Don't touch too much. Just do what you have to do and get out. Set up your stream. Again, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. Each one has what's called a stream key. Each platform has a stream key that you would copy and paste into the settings in OBS, so that every time you hit that start streaming button, it would automatically stream to that platform that you put into your settings. Okay, so now I had told you that I wanted to stick to the theme that I had downloaded from a third-party website for OBS, which is this one. So these overlays are downloaded from a third party. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so streamlabs.com/library. This is the place that you can download all these different kind of templates to spice up your stream. They have Christmas themed, neon, cyberpunk. Okay, so they have themes that are streamlined, that are designed specifically for games and for gaming. So if you stream on Twitch all the time, games that you play, then this would be a great place for you to download an overlay for your stream. So the one I'm using is this one, Luxury. Okay, and you can see that it comes with the camera frame. It comes with the stream starting screen, stream ending screen, and it comes with a couple of other different camera frames. You see there's those white lines coming in from the corners. That's called a transition in between scenes. So if I had set my transitions in OBS to a global transition, you can see that it'll play a sound, then it'll transition between scenes. You know, it kind of, you know, and it's cool. You know, it's flashy. It's nice that you get to spice up your stream and control that. So what you would do is that you would go up here to download this theme, and then in OBS you would go up to scene collection and import your download, and it would basically populate all the scenes down here with all the scenes that are in that template. And then all you have to do is just edit the information. This is the starting soon scene that comes default within that template. And these are all the sources within that scene. So let's take, for instance, this one. You see how I have the social media names from podcast to vodcast? Well, I could take that out if I wanted to. I can edit it, but it's right here. It's in my source. Edit source media here. Now, this is a little confusing because I don't think you're supposed to edit the social media there, because over here in your scenes, you have edit social media here, where you have a whole list of social media platforms, including gaming platforms like Xbox. This first group right here, from Xbox to YouTube, would be this first one right here, where the Twitter icon is. Because now look, see, Twitter is the only one that I have visible because they're all stacked on top of each other. So for this first group, I decide what I want visible. So I want this one to be for Twitter. And then I go to the bottom of the list that says username and I double click it. And this is where I edit the text right there. You can change the font, you can change the text, You can transform it, change the color. You could do whatever you want to it. And then you scroll down a little bit. This is the second group. Again, from Xbox all the way down to YouTube. And then the second username. This is the one I have for Instagram. So it's fully customizable. So anything you change in this scene where it says edit social media here changes in all the other scenes also because it's linked. So these cool transitions and all these cool graphics is really awesome because this program is free. I have connected my StreamYard account. So those two windows that you had seen next to my outputs with the StreamYard logos, let me show you. Okay, so these two windows right here, the banners on the left and then chat over here on the right. Okay, this is where I have my StreamYard connected. So those two windows are what's called docs. Okay, they're custom browser docs. And what I did is that I just connected the StreamYard website to each one of those. So all it does is display the website of StreamYard separately in two separate browser docs. Okay, so I logged into the same account on both windows, on both docs. Okay, so the only difference between the two browser windows is that on the left, I'm displaying my banners in StreamYard, and on the right, I'm displaying the chat that's actively populating as I'm live streaming. Because OBS doesn't have built-in chat features for you to display the comments on the bottom of the screen like you would if you were going live on StreamYard. So if I wanted one of my banners to show during a live stream, all I would have to do is just click a banner like that and then transition it over. Now everybody can see it. And the same thing with the comments. So now during the stream, I can show comments, which you can't normally do in OBS unless you do this trick with the docs. This trick is a little bit more complicated than I've shown it to be, but I'll go through that another time. But what I'm trying to get at is that OBS can be very powerful if you take the time to learn how to use it. All right, so let's go back to the chat screen. There. Okay, so the thing with OBS is that OBS is a powerful, powerful program for streamers, for vodcasters, for podcasters, really. And I really think that every podcaster should be using OBS because number one, it's free. Okay. And number two, the amount of features that are built into this program, it would be awesome for any vodcaster to learn. I've only showed you the tip of the iceberg on what this program can do. Now, I know a lot of you watch other streamers on YouTube or Twitch, and you want to make streams like them. You want to create content like them. With this, you can. I couldn't believe that this program is free and it streams to one place. Yes, that's kind of lame because if you've heard me talk about streaming to multiple platforms in my previous episodes, you know that I'm a fan of streaming to as many platforms as you possibly can. So this is where StreamYard comes in. So what I do is that this could cost you nothing. Okay, streaming doesn't have to cost you a penny. OBS is free and you can use the free account in StreamYard. Because all you really need StreamYard to do is to broadcast your stream and to bring in your comments during the live stream, right? So what you would do is in OBS, you would go up to here to tools and click virtual cam. Virtual cam turns your scene here into a legit camera. Okay, so you're going to start it and then you're just going to close it, leave it. Okay, so now OBS is literally acting as a camera. So anything that's in that right screen is exporting to as a camera. So now let's bring up StreamYard, but I don't have my camera, right? But it's down here. There's the camera. Now it's not OBS anymore. It's StreamYard. So you can literally just stay in StreamYard and run your stream from StreamYard if you wanted to. You know, you got your logos here that you could post up. I know it looks a little trippy right now, but this is how it could be for you. But at the same time, you don't have to be limited to this, because if it is just you and you don't have any guests on, this is perfect because your one camera can fit on this whole screen here in StreamYard. So if I added something to this, like let's say I changed the size of my camera in OBS, watch what would happen. See that? So whatever is being displayed in StreamYard is being controlled in OBS. If you wanted to bring a guest in, then that's a whole nother story, because you would have to use yet again another third-party program to bring into OBS, Skype or Zoom or whatever other program that you use to do video calls with. You can add more than one camera to this. So let's do that. And then add another video capture. See, it shows up twice. So this is basically what you would do. You would bring in your guest via Zoom into StreamYard, and you would set it up like this, hit your transition, and there you just brought in a guest. So I know StreamYard automates the whole process for you and automatically adjusts your windows and all that. But with OBS, it's more hands-on. It's more customized. You know, you can literally put windows anywhere in the screen and do whatever you want, whereas StreamYard limits you. So there are a whole bunch of things that you can learn how to do with OBS, and I'm sure that once you download it and you get going and you really take the time to learn how the program works and what to really do with it, you'll never pay another cent for live streaming, and your production value will be tenfold. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that this video helped at least a little bit and explained the basics of OBS and what you need to do to get yourself going as far as live streaming and vodcasting. So head on over to the OBS website, download OBS, get started today, and level up your show. Also, head on over to vodsquad.live, where you can download a free episode planning sheet and a free vodcasting equipment guide that I just give to you for free. You just download it, and there you have it. I also have some courses where I go into detail on how to go live on StreamYard. Okay, so that has nothing to do with OBS. That class is specifically for StreamYard and designing assets for that and running your own successful live stream through StreamYard. So head on over to vodsquad.live today. Check out the podcast, check out the vodcast, get your free stuff, and sign up for the course. So another thing I wanted to add was that when you watch all those streamers on YouTube and they're really big, and you see the gear, they always do a studio tour where you see all the gear that they use on their table, and everybody has a stream deck. Now, you don't have to have a stream deck in order to do this. You could use one, of course, but you don't have to spend the $200, $300, $400 on a stream deck to feel or look professional. Let me show you something. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. So I have the Stream Deck app right here. Okay. This app goes right to my phone. Okay. So now I have Stream Deck. It's the legit Stream Deck app for my phone. So I don't need to buy an actual Stream Deck and keep it on my desk. I just set up the buttons on the app on the computer and it automatically shows up here on my phone. And it's perfect because I literally don't have to spend the money on an actual Stream Deck, and I can control my show right from my phone. See, it's that easy. So, a couple of things. Download OBS, download the Stream Deck app for your computer, and get it on your phone. And use the free version of StreamYard. And there you go. Streaming is now free. All right, guys, I will see you next time. How you doing, Tom? Tom. Oh, Tom. Can you hear me? All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys liked it and got some information out of it. Hopefully, Tom will start saying something because I know he's got questions. Let me see here. Maybe that proves that he wasn't watching. I hope that it was clear enough that the instructions
Got
I
no
gave were
audio.
clear enough.
Got no audio. Can't hear nothing.
You can't hear me? Seems maybe Tom is having a little technical difficulties. Let me see here. Yeah, I can hear me on the stream. I don't know, guys. Hey, Tom. So anybody watching, do you guys have any questions or anything?
Hold on.
Holding. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Yeah, Jeff had commented earlier in the show. He was wondering how much OBS was. OBS is completely free, everybody. OBS is completely free. So it's the perfect solution for streaming, for vodcasting, because what you do is that you pair OBS with something like this. Because right now we're on StreamYard. I hope Tom can get his thing working there.
Nope, I don't hear you.
I hear you. Listen to some music while we wait for Tom. This, by the way, everybody, the music you're hearing is called Stream Beats Lo-Fi. Harris Heller put out an album on Spotify that's royalty free, so you don't have to worry about any copyright infringement. It's specifically made for streamers. It's just random beats, some elevator music for you to play during your stream. I hope you guys can hear it because I don't want to look stupid being the only one. We're here. Hey. So I'm trying this new effect on my background. See, it's blurry. It's not 100%. Tony Stark lives. Yes. Jeff, it could be good for your sports network. Can you hear me now, Tom? Oh, Tom. It could be good for your sports network, but it is a pain in the butt to bring guests in, especially if they're going to drop out and come back in like randomly, or if somebody leaves and then later on you decide to add somebody else to the show. OBS is awesome if you know your guests are going to stay, and because this way you can set up the scenes ahead of time in OBS, and you know how to design your layouts and everything on where the cameras are going to be. Because let's say you set up a 2-person camera like this stream, or say he just dropped out. Now, OBS doesn't automatically resize the camera frames. Okay, so with 2 people on, you would see the 2 cameras, but if he dropped out, then you're just going to have a black empty spot right there where he was. So I really recommend OBS for vodcasting, for streaming, but it does have its limitations as far as automation within the camera frames going, the design work. So it might be best if maybe it's just you and you set up your scene as a one-person camera kind of deal. And yeah, so yep. Yep. Jeff, can you hear the music? Thanks for sticking around, man. Okay, so the stream key. Hang on. Tom's trying to come back in. All right, so the stream keys are different within all the separate platforms: Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Tom, can you hear me? Tom? Oh, Tom. Okay, so that's the stream keys are the way OBS connects to the actual platforms. So it's kind of like the keys to the platform. Think of it like the password to make the connection, and you'll have to Google where to get them for each individual platform. It's not hard. It's like in the settings. How you doing, Tom? Hello. Well, I know it's not me because you guys can hear me. I know Tom's got questions. I even thought that like the little bit of music that I played in the background was a good touch too, because sometimes there could be some dead air, or it just gives you a little bit more stimulation in the background noise. So Jeff, if you can connect your phone to your mixer, try it out and try to play some music from your phone, low key throughout the whole stream. It's coming up on our 1 year anniversary. Can't wait to see what you get me. Yes, it is, Jeff. Yes, it is. That's not till March, I think. He dropped out. Damn it. He's trying. Let's keep it going. Hello. Whoa, Tom.
Wow, still can't hear it.
Really? Wow. we'll just keep waiting because I know he definitely has questions. He was super interested in this tutorial, so let's keep it going for a little bit longer. See, the live streaming and vodcasting is hard for us now because number one, it's so new. I think it's only, it's really since this quarantine hit that people really started doing it. And, it's, there's not really a really great platform out there. I mean, StreamYard's really nice. I mean, this is great, but if you want your show to be unique in the sense where you can add your own flair and your own style, to your show, then you have to use multiple programs at once, like OBS. Now, I had said in the tutorial that OBS only streams to one platform. Now, it could stream to others, but I don't know if it could. As far as I know, it only goes to one platform. But from what I see everybody else doing, I see people setting up their scenes in OBS and using it as a virtual camera and then streaming it to something like Restream or StreamYard here, where StreamYard or Restream streams it out to all the different platforms. So it's kind of like you have to connect OBS to one of those guys to a third party to get it all out to everybody else. So it doesn't do it all in its own. And I wish that they would make it do it all on its own, and stream everywhere. But because, yeah, you can use the free version of StreamYard, but I think you're limited to the amount of platforms that you can stream to from the free version. How you doing, Tom? Anything? No, I don't think so. Sounds like he's banging on the keyboard. Nope, you don't hear nothing. I hear you. Let's see. Yeah, Jeff, give it a shot. He's messing around with OBS now. Give it a shot. Probably hear my kids running around upstairs. Oh yeah, you could probably definitely hear him. All right, it looks like Tom is having some trouble here. So I'm going to shut this stream down and then start another one and keep this going. So hang on. Okay. So Be right back. Give me a minute to make another stream, and then we'll get the questions and answers going.